Welcome to the Identity Shift podcast. I am your host, formerly known as Arnesia. I am transitioning into a new name, Zara-Zivan, and I am going to start off a new series fresh for you because, like me going through a transition, I am also knowing that you too are going through a transition in your life. And today is going to be the start of the crossover series. You ever have that feeling where you know that you are on the edge of a breakthrough, where you know that there's something divine that is happening in your life and you're transitioning from one identity to the next? You have blessings, you have open doors right in front of you, but you're afraid to take that leap because something deep down inside is making you think that I'm not ready. I don't know if I'm ready to pursue this. I don't know if I have enough equipment. I don't know how to heal from some of the things that I have to face. What are people going to think about me? All of these different emotions start whenever you're going into a transition. And so we're going to take the next 5 weeks going into what it's like to transition from one phase to the next. So strap on your boots, girl, because we're going to go ahead and dive into some things today. I'm going to help you process those emotions, pray through it, and also just take some time to identify who you are and as you step into your new phase of becoming. You're listening to Identity Shift with Zara-Zivan, the space where we renew our minds to live in our unique design. One of my friends reached out recently and was like, Arnesia, can you help me to just have a discovery call with me? Like, let's talk about some things because I just feel like I need some help, some girl chat. So I went ahead and I helped walk her through that method, a method that I'm going to also teach you today that teaches you how to release the stress and fears when it comes to stepping into a successful role or a successful position in your life. It is vital for you to know how to understand your emotions. And we're going to dive a little bit into that today. So I came across this process when I personally had 4 opportunities lined up in one day. And I was like, oh my God, this is overwhelming. I'm starting a new program, a branding program, and I had people saying yes to me. And I'm like, but it's not even done. I don't even have the landing page up. I'm just telling you what I do. And so when people hear anything about what you're doing as a business owner, they want in. They already know you. They already like you. They already trust you. So they're going to go ahead and say, hey, tell me what it is that you got. If you could help me, cool. So let someone know about what I was doing. And then I ended up stepping into this phase of feeling just overwhelmed with emotions, overwhelmed with fear, overwhelmed with how do I get everything together in time? Will I make it in time, or do I need to push back the due date for me to produce this new program? And the pressure beyond that made me feel insecure, made me feel like I had imposter syndrome, and I knew that I needed to pause. I knew that I needed to take a moment to breathe. I knew that I needed to take a moment to process my emotions and encourage myself and say, hey girl, you got these open doors. You might just want to go ahead and take them. It's for you. And maybe you're in a phase of your life right now where you know that you're standing at that threshing floor. And when we look into the book of Joshua is going to be the book that we're going to dive into through the crossover series. So God brought me to the book of Joshua, where chapter 1 and 2, where he talks about Israel getting ready to cross over the Jordan. They came out of this wilderness season, and now Joshua is the leader. He's taking them through this Jordan, the next river that is going to help them get to their promised land. And very identical to our lives when it comes to transition, you're in a phase where you start in a wilderness, where maybe you're struggling, or maybe you're in doubt, or maybe you've lost something and it's cost you a lot of time, energy, and effort. And you know that something is taking you to a better place. And I remember in the book of Joshua, chapter 1 and 2, where they discuss this process of crossing over into the Jordan to get to Jericho. And a lot of people probably at that time was feeling burdened, was feeling like, I don't want to go and leave this wilderness place, just like how they were in Egypt. And a lot of emotions need to be processed as you're going into a new level in your life. So I have this 3-step process that teaches you how to process your emotions and get you through that dramatic phase where you know that, okay, it's time for me to take hold of the blessing and run with force. So the 3-step process is going to be pause, process, pray. Again, pause, process, pray. This is the method that's going to help you to get yourself into that transition point and be ready to take hold of your blessings. Just like me when I was needing to respond to the people who had approached me, this was an open door for me. It was a blessing in disguise. I knew that I needed to respond to these messages and let them know, hey, this is going to be the start date of this program. So what I did was I went to the park. Went to a place where there's nobody around, nobody can bother me, nothing distracting me. Went to the park, sat down for a few minutes, and I breathed. I took for a moment to breathe, allow myself to cry, allow myself to wonder, why is it so hard for me to receive this blessing? I took a moment to breathe and pause because you got to feel your emotions. Neurology, in your brain. I can't get my words together. In your brain is already alert and aware of what's happening. And the way that emotions appear in your body, it can be responding to either trauma or fear, and our bodies respond differently. Oftentimes in the gut, we can feel something that is bothering us. Anxiety is in the chest. It'll make you feel like you can't breathe. And sometimes you may find yourself crunching your shoulders up because you're afraid. Fear, anxiety, a gut feeling something's not right. And that's the way that you need to become aware of your body, how it responds whenever there's something coming up, because you're going to want to know how to get rid of it. So oftentimes what is often practiced is body movement. But research states that body movement allows you to release those emotions, because when you're moving your body, you're getting your body in motion, which is also a mechanism people use when they go to the gym. Oftentimes, serotonin is released when you're going to the gym. You're getting your hormones intact. You're making your body feel more relaxed, more aligned, and able to process. Your blood is flowing from your brain to your feet. You need your body to regulate as you are going into a place that makes you feel like you're afraid. So for instance, I went to the park. I just walked for a minute. I breathed. And then I took a moment to processing my emotions through journaling, just writing out everything. There's nobody watching you. Just think about how journaling can help you release the words that are in your head. You get it out into paper. Releasing those emotions through writing, letting myself to feel that process, it gave me freedom. It gave me the ability to see what is going on in my head. And then processing through writing, meaning I'm just writing out my emotions, and then also I am writing out words of encouragement as well. You know that this is a blessing. You have all these open doors for you. You have, God is preparing a better place for you. Your goals are coming to pass. And also writing down, well, why is it so hard for me to receive? Just like how you would talk to a little kid. I've done inner child healing before, and it has tremendously blessed my life. I've been able to talk to myself like a child again, because sometimes you have to imagine the child version of you in order to heal that version of you. Going through some of the things I went through as a child, I didn't get that type of treatment. So going back and being my adult self, talking to my inner child, allows me to process my emotions in a way that I need to be loved. My love language is words of affirmation. My love language is quality time. So I spend a lot of quality time with myself. I spend a lot of time affirming myself, and those are things that make me feel more confident. So I want you to identify those areas of your life. Oftentimes people who connect with me are quality time, words of affirmation type. So I'm just trusting that this process is going to help you get through regulating your emotions. So as you're writing out, be transparent. Let your emotions run wild, but then don't forget in your writing, after you release those emotions, you're going to want to also encourage yourself. And I actually have 3 questions you can ask yourself as you're processing your emotions. So here are the 3 questions I want you to ask yourself as you are processing your emotions is number 1, what's making it hard for me to receive this blessing? Take notes, take notes, take notes. What is making it hard for me to receive this blessing? The second question I want you to ask yourself is, what am I actually capable of? I am capable of XYZ. I am capable of producing the content. I am capable of taking a walk every day to improve my health. I am capable. What are you capable of? Encourage yourself, empower yourself in that. The third question I want you to ask yourself is, what 3 characteristics I'm proud of that prove I'm ready? Asking yourself those 3 characteristics, you're going to see yourself saying, I am powerful. I'm a Black woman who have gone through building up her credit. I am loved. I am encouraged. I have greater on the inside of me. God is with me. God has built me up for a time such as this. These are all words of affirmation. It's like reminding yourself, because oftentimes when you're stuck in the pit and you don't know exactly how you're going to get out, and you don't know how you're going to face what you need to face in order to get to your next, oftentimes empowering yourself, reminding yourself of the characteristics that you hold is what's going to help you break through. And the last step to processing your emotions is to pray. I want you to pray over yourself. Thank God for what He has done. Thank God for the blessings and the open doors He is opening into your life. And acknowledge what God is doing in your life. Begin to declare the word of God over yourself. I am fearfully and wonderfully made. God has made me beautifully complex. I stand out because I'm different, and there's something great on the inside of me that anybody can see. Begin to declare over yourself, be strong, be bold, and very courageous. God has given me strength. Remind yourself of the promises of God. God's plans for me are of good and to prosper, not to harm me. Like, begin to process and pray. Pray your way through this moment, because that is what's going to also help you to relieve the tension in your body. So I hope this was helpful. I know it was probably very short, but this is the crossover series. I want us to know how to cross over into transition, because as you are going through this transition in your life, you're going to begin to see yourself, oh, I can take on the promises of God. And throughout this entire series, we're not just going to be focusing on the psychology or the spiritual and biblical aspects, but we're also going to know how to apply all those things as entrepreneurs. By the time we get to the end of the series, you're going to know how to step into being the entrepreneur that God has called you to be. Because baby, listen, the way that God has shown me how Joshua was so strategic with taking over multiple lands. Like, if you read from Joshua 1 to 12, you're going to see that crossover system. We're going to call it a crossover system, okay? Because it was a system that God gave him. God gave him strategy, and God gave him a system to take over land after land after land. And when you read the Bible, you'll see how he defeated different lands based on the last land. He defeated Ai just like how he defeated Jericho. He conquered land that was just as similar as the last land that he conquered. He conquered kings just as the last king that he conquered. And I'm like, that's exactly how we work as entrepreneurs. Like, you're supposed to keep a system going. You're supposed to know how to keep moving. Don't reinvent the wheel, but keep moving in a system of consistency that is going to help bring forth the blessings, the income, the opportunities, the connections. Like, God has created us to prosper. And I think a lot of entrepreneurs are just stuck in that phase of transition. They know that they're ready. They know that they want what God has for them. But oftentimes we stay stuck in our emotions and we don't know how to process it. So I hope that this first episode of the crossover series is helpful for you. Make sure that you take notes and reply in a comment below if this was helpful, and anything else that you want me to apply in this crossover series, I'd be happy to. But ultimately, I want you to know that God loves you. You are uniquely designed for times such as this. Let's take on the blessings that God has for us and move with grace and gratitude and blessings. Thank you so much for watching the Identity Shift podcast. I'll catch you on the next one.